Nilqakom għal programm ieħor Missjoni Hawn, missjoni ta' patrijiet, sorijiet u anki assisin li qed jagħmlu missjoni propju f'pajjiżna f'Malta. Aħna s-soltu imdorrijin ngħidlu l-missjonarji Maltin li qegħdin barra minn xtutna. Imma illum il-ġurnata r-realtà wkoll qed tinbidel għax propju għandna bżonn missjonarji minn postijiet barra minn Malta bħal l-Afrika, Asja u South America li jiġu jagħtu servizz kemm pastorali u kemm fejn tidħol il-kura għaw Malta u qed nintaqgħu ftit magħhom. Nfakkarkom li din is-sena hija sena wkoll importanti għall-Uffiċċju Missjonarju għall-Missjo għax propju f'Ottubru l-ġej ħankunu qegħdin niċċelebraw il-100 sena mill-ġurnata missjonarja u propju dal-programm għalhekk introduċejnieh biex aħna nlaqgħukom ma' missjonarji li qegħdin jagħtu servizz f'Malta. Miegħi llum għandi missjonarju ieħor patri ieħor tal-kongregazzjoni tal-Franġiskani Minuri li qed jagħti servizz fil-Knisja ta' Ġiesu il-Belt li ilu Malta għal dawn l-aħħar sentej. Ħansiru nafuh Father Thomas. Father Thomas, welcome to our program. I've just did an introduction. You've been in Malta for the last 2 years giving a service at the Knisja, at the parish, the church ta' Ġiesu in Valletta. And you've been here for 2 years, but we will talk about what you're doing in Malta at the end of this program, towards the end of this program, but first we need to get to know you. India, with 1 billion people, it is one of the biggest countries in the world, and obviously the Christians are a minority. But apart from being a minority, also the country, there are about 20% of the population that live in extreme poverty. I've been there a couple of years ago, and for me it was an eye-opener because there is a lot of people suffering because of poverty. Here, it's not about a matter of religion or a matter of color. It is a matter of a human being suffering because of poverty. We will talk about that also during this program. So first, to get to know you better, maybe you tell us about yourself, your family, and your childhood.
Yes. Yeah, that is good. I come from a 7 people family, that is, we are 7 children. We are 6 brothers and 1 sister. I am the middle one.
You're the middle,
yeah,
okay.
I am the middle one. And now I have my mother. My father passed away 7 years back, and my mother is 92. She is living with my brother at home. I come rather from an agriculture family. I come from Kerala.
You come from Kerala?
Kerala.
Okay.
There is in Kerala, you know, the Kerala has got sea, also the plain ground,
Yes.
also the hilly area. And I come rather from the hilly area of the Kerala region, that is the northern part. Mostly people from the south migrated to north. So I was born in the south of Kerala, that is in Kottayam.
Okay.
So when I was maybe just 2.5 years old, I was migrated with my family to the northern part of Kerala, that is a Kannur. There, rest of my childhood and all my...
Wait a minute, because you're mentioning south and north of Kerala.
Yeah.
Not of India.
No, no.
How big is Kerala?
Kerala is actually, you have, if you look at exactly to say the measurement, I do not know. I know it, but it is like, it is a small state. Compared to other states, Kerala is a small state in India. Okay.
Still in the south. Still to the south of
India.
India.
It is a kind of a strip.
Strip, okay.
Yeah. So we have actually, as I said, in the sea we have Arabian Sea, then we have a plain ground, other side is a Western Ghat.
So that's why it's good and fertile for, agriculture.
It is, they call it is a God's own country because compared to other states, Kerala has got completely different geographically, culturally, everything is different.
And as a young boy, how you used to go to school and play?
Yes, as a young boy, I told you I come from agriculture family, so we had a lot of uh,
Fields?
animals, and also we had to do help of parents in the what you call all the work at home. Rather, I was much interested in agriculture.
Yes.
From the childhood onwards, I was
But
so
interested because of animals? or
animals and also in the cultivation.
Cultivation.
Cultivation. One of the favorite thing for me is pepper, and when I was studying itself, when we come back from the school, we used to, because we have a lot of water and all that, so most of the tree, and we have plenty of trees and all, I used to grow the pepper, and I like that pepper growing, and then the pepper gives fruit. It is very beautiful to see that, and also coffee and all that.
So you were...
So I'm
you were-
from the childhood onwards, I like the farming and all that.
And all your brothers and sisters used
Yeah.
to work in agriculture? With,
Yeah,
with
all
the
of
family?
them, of course. Now also some of them are, and my
see.
youngest brother is living in UK, and rest of them are in Kerala itself, and some of them, their children are all here and there. Or, of course, agriculture, they have slowly moving into various other things. Of course, so I used to help out my parents, and even we had a lot of cows and buffaloes, also goats and all that. So when we come back from the school, I used to also help out. We have to cut the grass for the cows and all that. And those days, whole area, because in our area, we on houses here, you have to go at least 5 kilometers far, another house. Maybe I had on 1 or 2 neighbors just close by, maybe just 500, 600 meters away. Otherwise, it is far. So we have a large area. So good
Large
color.
area with different houses?
Yes, yes, yes.
How far was the school to go to school?
My school was, that's a good question, because my school was almost 3.5 kilometers. So from my house to, and then we used to walk to school. And close to our house there is a beautiful brook, that's a small river, and you have to cross. And one of the beautiful thing I remember is during my childhood, when rainy season, as you know, Kerala has got a rainy season almost 7 months.
Yes.
So rainy season, whole everywhere water, and all the brooks and rivers are brimmed to the end. So those days we did not have a bridge to cross. So it is beautiful for us also jump in the water. We tie big rope on the tree and jump in the water.
To cross?
No, just to jump in the water.
To
cross?
as fun,
Yes,
fun
as
game,
a fun,
as game.
fun,
Okay.
as a fun. To cross, we used to our elders, the parents, and they cut the tree and put across the river and then cross. That was childhood. But now all the bridges have come up.
Yeah, but obviously, I can imagine that as a child, it was like playing, crossing bridges, but it was dangerous as well.
No, we are all used with that, because from the childhood onwards we are close to the river and all that, and we know when the flood exactly comes and all that. So when flood comes, we keep away from there and all that.
Were there any difficulties during your childhood that you faced as a young child, or the family faced?
Of course, agriculture, I said I am from the farming family, but we do not have a large farm and all that. So we have, and also our parents used to cultivate and then whatever. So it's a rather agriculture family. It is not the difficulty which goes through any other family. We also had, since we come from a big family, And another thing is beautiful thing I remember, we all had a sharing actually, beautiful sharing, because I said after me there are three of them, my brothers.
So,
So the dress what I use when I grow up, the others just hand over to others, and that is also anything you get, all these sharings happen. So this is of course those days it was not easy for the food and all that, so they have to struggle. I'm talking about 72 onwards. I was born in 72, so those time in northern part of Kerala, even Kerala in India, Kerala also northern part, in the hilly area and all, it's still to come developments and all that.
Okay. When you were explaining and talking and etc., and you were telling us about these adventures and challenges that you faced. Since the country 80% of India is Hindi, how did it, because you were Christian, okay, you were born to a Christian family, and you are in a minority. What is that? What it was a challenge for the family to practice their faith in India?
You have to see from the situation of Kerala. Kerala, in our time, it was almost 30%. Kerala population is a Christian population. Now it has come down to 18%. So I told you that I am from a migrator family, migrator from the southern part of Kerala to the northern part. So those who migrated, most of them were of Christians. So all our neighborhood, all our around area is Christians. So, and also there are Hindus, but we were in one. Never had any kind of clash. Even now Kerala hasn't any kind of that, but the rest part of India, of course, there is maybe difficulties. Some northern part of India, of course. In my childhood, because of that, I did not have that kind of difficulty, but I realized this one after becoming a priest and started to serve in North.
In the North. Okay, we will talk about priesthood soon. You went to school, you continued your studies, from primary to secondary to higher school?
Yes.
And how did you hear the voice or took your vocation?
That is a good question. Yeah, because I told you, I come from, close to that, there is a congregation called MCBS, that is a Missionary Fathers. So they have their own chapel there and their priest
in Kerala,
close to my house. So we used to go every day for Mass. It is almost 1 kilometer. I have to go there.
So every day you walk to Mass, the whole family?
It's all hilly area. So we walk and go. There only walking is a medium. So we walk and go to the church. And this what you call congregation, this ashram, we call ashramam, this ashram church is a center for all those who are living, the Christians there. Most of those were Christians there. So we were playing there, attending Mass and all that. And my mother always used to say becoming about a priest. And then when I saw the priest there and around, I had from the childhood onwards decided to become a priest. So when I finished my primary, went to high school. When you finish high school, again, my cousin also is a Claretian priest, and in Kerala has got a lot of priests and nuns around. You can see that time was a great vocation tour was going on, and a lot of youngsters joining the religious life, priesthood and all that. So that's how.
Regarding the church, and a question about the church. Okay, in India, maybe now, during the last few years, it's becoming more tolerant and how you say it, poverty is less, because a few years ago the extreme poverty was more than 20% that it stands now. Regarding religion persecution, healthcare, education, how the church respond to these needs in India?
I think if India has grown from 1947 when we got independence from till now, if it has come to a certain extent growth, it is a contribution of the church is high. Actually,
can you explain that? Because the church is doing a lot in various countries, you know, and sometimes we don't mention what the church works in these countries.
Yes. First of all, education, and second one is health, social. Every field, India, the church has really contributed. That is not only one part, the entire India. Because after my priesthood, I was part of the prison ministry. I was working with the prisoners, and I was given the assignment to go around India. So I have visited most of the states of India, and looking at that, the church has really contributed to growth of India. And education, it is missionaries, it is a priest, it is a church who really started most of the places, the schools and all that. So people could go and the children could go and get education. And another thing, healthcare. It is a beautiful work done by the amount of missionaries working, especially when I was working with working in northern part of India and also going around for my prison ministry. I found it's some of the interior area, the forest. You said you have gone to some parts of India, and a certain area still the developments have not come, and there missionary sisters, they work, they go kilometers walk and then provide health care. So the growth of India, and if you look at the politicians of India, most of them are educated actually from the Catholic schools and all that. So I don't think the church is only looking at the Christians. Church was always looking for the growth of a human being and the country.
Do you think that suffering, I've been to Pakistan and I visited some remote areas, and I still remember visiting an area near Karachi, sorry, not Karachi, Hyderabad in Nalgonda, in India, and the suffering, you can feel the suffering of the of the people living there. And mainly I visited also Catholic families. Do you think that suffering is the relationship between suffering and the missionaries? Why do you think it's so strong?
It is because it's missionaries. Why one become a missionary? It is because of love of Christ. And the Christianity, the suffering has got in his heart actually. Every Christian suffering is important, that virtue of suffering. And because of that, any Christian can understand that suffering beautifully. So the missionaries reach to the people. As you mentioned, Nalgonda, I have also gone to Nalgonda, and I had close to that area a beautiful Christmas experience which I never had mass. That is the only one Christmas I can remember that I did not have mass, because that was only one Catholic lady who had converted to Christianity. That is coming to one of our father, that is he has got Indian way of spirituality, and this lady came to know Father and she has got converted, and she went back to her village, and She comes from a what you call rather low caste family. As you know, India has got
Yes, I was going to ask you about that. How
yes,
that
India has
influence?
got caste. This is a system comes from the Hinduism actually. So the culture is that it is high caste, low caste, and all that. So in the village there is a high caste and the same time low caste. So we and these people were celebrating the Christmas. I was there beautifully, and no mass, nothing. She only had a kind of picture of Jesus, and her family, rest of them are Hindus, and they all come to celebrate. It is not a celebration of her alone. It is a high caste people come, they come, the low caste people come, and everybody, because they see something beautiful sharing, the way of loving each other, and then nothing of conversion, but we are reached to them in their suffering. That's what.
When you were talking, there was you brought to my attention some pictures that we have, some photos that you have sent us, and maybe we will be also seeing some and talk about these pictures soon. One of them actually is here, so maybe you can give us some background about
Yes,
this
this
picture.
background, just before coming to Malta, I was in this parish. This is, we should, I think we should, it is good that you brought, you know, this area of Kerala is one of the poorest area. Okay. One of the poorest. This is in Kannur, in my districts, but this particular diocese, Kannur diocese, is this, most of them are converted from Hinduism to Christianity, maybe just 2 generations, 1 generation, all that. Most of them, okay. So it is Italian missionaries, Jesuit missionaries, and they had reached Italian. I think they were also from Malta. Yeah. The missionaries, they reached to this particular area. Those days they saw that these people, most of them were low caste, and the high caste people were treating them very, what you call, differently, and they were living in the small huts and all that. And then I remember some of the missionaries, they are bringing money from here, and then they are investing there, and that's how they just brought them up.
Another picture is
of my family. It is my nephew's wedding. So this is, you could see, I come from we in Kerala, we have got 3 rites prominently. That is, I come from eastern rite, that is Syro Malabar. So the other picture you see, that is a Latin rite, because I have joined the Latin congregation. So I have a bi-ritual. Bi-ritual means I can
celebrate. So you have to learn a lot to do these.
Yes, yes. This is a rather long liturgy. Yeah. So you can see the vestment itself is different.
Yes.
The other one, we have a vestment, then here we have a kappa, it's called. Yes. So this is my wedding of my nephew. So Eastern liturgy, there are a lot of customs. It is more theological celebration. So.
Okay. Time flies. We are nearly towards the end of the program. How did you hear the voice for your vocation?
I told you that from the childhood onwards I had desire. But when I reached the 10th, I finished my 10th, I had a kind of where to join. That was a confusion. I told you I was close to MCVS fathers there going, but it did not much attract me there. Rather my cousin brother who was in there also. And then the place, one day when I was playing there, I got a kind of magazine. In that magazine I saw the Franciscan address. That's how I come to Franciscan. But when I was deciding, one day I share this story very places. I had seen a dream before I decided about a Franciscan life. That is a statue. I do not know this from anybody. The one statue is sitting like that, a person wearing this kind of habit, and so many are standing around. Okay, so it's a dream I just forgot. And then I was deciding on this. I saw the magazine, and the magazine I saw about Franciscans. I applied, and then they came and so, and they recruited me. And then I reached the first day to my seminary in Andhra Pradesh, that is Chittoor, Palmana. The entrance itself, I saw that statue of St. Francis on the garden, and evening we all are coming around with the rector around the statue and praying. Then I realized, oh my God, this is what I have seen somewhere. So
it was a confirmation.
It is a confirmation. So I told, my cousin wanted to take me to there. This MCOS fathers there. So many of them wanted to take, but somehow everything was going away. So I finally realized that it's a Franciscan life. That is, I remember also my grandmother. In my faith, my parents, also my grandmother, my father's mother, her influence is very much, because most of the prayers taught by her, and then she was belonged to SFO, the lay Franciscan movement. So they had those days one kind of a rope tying around all that.
Yes.
So somehow that also maybe might have influenced me.
Yeah. So you became a Franciscan and a friar, and then after how long? Another photo.
This is again that parish where we were there, and this just before coming to Malta, I told you I reconstructed, did a lot of restructuring, and then just before they were sending me, they were giving me sent off. So this is one of my person who was helping in the parish.
How long have you have been a friar before they told you, listen, another move now from India to Malta?
Now I have just this May 4th was my ordination date, and May 4th I became 22 years complete. I am getting into 23 years of my priesthood. Okay, and I am a Franciscan for last 37 years.
37 years. Yes, 2 years ago you came to Malta.
I came to Malta.
On which mission?
When I was in this parish, my provincial told me, just before that, we had our provincial election, and Father Noel Muscat, he was actually our visitator, instead of general visitator was so he visited us all houses everywhere. Then he came back, and then he put a request, actually the provincial of Malta put a request to Indian province, asking that they would like to have someone. To work among the migrants. And
so your work is with migrants?
Mostly migrants. I am
what
actually,
else, what other work?
What are the works of the houses? House means convent, what we have. We also sometimes celebrate Maltese Mass, and we are learning Maltese. Then rest of any of the work of the house we do it. Mostly I am involved with the migrants. That is, we have a group of Latin Rite from Kerala. We celebrate Mass in our convent Jesu. I told you that I have bi-ritual. So since I belong to Syro Malabar, I also go and celebrate Mass in outside, because Syro Malabar community has got 5 zones, different part of Malta. So there is a priest in charge. He takes our help, and then we go and celebrate Mass.
So, Father Thomas,
I am also, just to say that, I'm also completed my studies on marriage and family. I have my golden licentiate, marriage and family. Just before going to this parish, I finished my studies and went to
and your studies
on the marriage and family, pastoral
work with marriage and family.
And I am also a counselor. So people come for especially counseling to in what you call Tajisu. Quite a number of them come for counseling and also conversion, and especially these rich people have got a lot of problem with regard to relationship, marriage and all that. So,
Father Thomas, thank you for being with us and sharing your story. It was nice also to hear about your vocation and your work.
I just mentioned about prison ministry, but then I did not tell you much about. I was working for the Prisoners India throughout my formation time, and also prison ministry is one of the beautiful ministry established under the Bishop Conference of India, and I was in the national office.
You were the national office, so you were working close with the bishops.
Yes,
with the bishops conference.
Yes.
Okay. Once again, thank you. Maybe we will have another time to discuss more in detail your work, because definitely you have more and more things to share with us. Grazzi li kontu bana l-programm ieħor il-Missjoni Hawn intqajna ma' Father Thomas mill-Indja, esperjenza sabiħa, ħafna xogħol anki pastorali fl-Indja għalkemm l-insaru ma fil-minoranza jagħmlu ħafna kif smajni jgħid il-Knisja hemmhekk tagħti ħafna support u anki jettejn ħafna lil pajjiż iqum fuq saħaj fejn tidħol l-edukazzjoni, fejn tidħol is-saħħa u fejn jidħlu affarijiet oħra taħdem ħafna f'komunitajiet mal-ifqar fost il-fqar. Jiena nirringrazzjakom li kontu magħna, nfakkarkom li bħalissa l-Uffiċċju Missjonarju Missjo qed jiċċelebra f'Ottubru l-ġej ħankunu qed niċċelebraw il-100 sena mill-ġurnata missjonarja, ħajkonna programm ta' attivitajiet li ħankunu qegħdin anki nitkellmu fuqhom iktar tard matul din is-sena. Jiena nirringrazzjakom mill-ġdid li kontu magħna u nintaqgħu f'programm ieħor il-Missjoni Hawn. Sliem.